Okay, can you, Frank, are you good to go?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, it's about software. This course is about software testing. It's about, we all know about McAfee, Windows, and Linux and everything, all about software.
Yeah.
So software testing is all about what we see in our everyday life. In software, is a new revolution in the world today. So why you are here right here is to learn how to test. How to, when a developer develop a software, then you are the one that's going to test the software. Testing the software, each thing going to meet the customer requirement, the customer needs, what we call the end users.
Yeah.
So you have to test those software. So the ability of a software testing is always increasing day by day in the market. So you finding a job is not a problem at all. Where I'm a Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, the field of software automation is increasing every day, even all over the world. And we know that even California, in New York, everywhere, everybody, they need a tester. Testing is not just it's not just what we just have to do. The company requires you have to do. You have to test. Software testing is all about. It's a general thing that the government has already signed and already endorsed it all over the world. Because if you don't test the software, like an airplane, if you don't test that airplane, the software in that airplane, it will crash. So the government is a requirement, is a must. A software has to be tested before it's being produced to the market, which we call you and I going to be the end users. So before we start this program, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
So what is software? What is software testing? If you can see can you see my screen?
I can't see. Okay, I only see your. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, I see software.
You can see, right?
Yeah, I see. I see what you are typing now.
Okay, software testing.
Testing,
So
yeah.
before we start, we need to understand the three basic things which are involved in software testing. Number one, you need to know what you need to test. What is actually what you need to test. Number two, you need to know why you need to test. And number three is how we ought to test. So in this field, in this course, we are not here to learn. If you are here to learn, that means this course is not for you, because we are here to learn. We are here to have a job. So which we know we all have we need to have a job, we want to have a job. So in this field, you need a job in this field. So if you are here, you just want to learn, or just I think you just have to, I don't think this course is for you, because eventually we all need a job in this field. And the field of automation testing is really increasing every day. So every company needs a tester in the IT industry. You have to be in the QA team, in the testing team. So finding a job in this field is never a problem for you. So I want you all to look at yourself as a professional. Don't look at yourself like it's something difficult. It's nothing difficult at all. What you need to do is your concentration and your determination in this field, and you go and excel and get a job. And at the end of this field, I will help you in, after this field, we're going to do market preparation for your resume, and the kind of question they ask you, interview questions, and you do CVs, and where people will get a job. So I just want to make sure that whatever we do here, we should just cooperate with each other, and everybody goes to make it. Because this field is really increasing day by day. So we all discuss more about that, but I just want to quickly understand. I want to let you know what software is all about. What is software testing? Before you talk about software testing, you know about what is it actually all about. You want to know about what you want to test, why do you want to test that software, and how do you test that software. So what is software testing? Let's start with what we mean by what. What is software testing? The very first here is what is software testing? That's the first thing here. What is it all about? You know that any product in a medical device, laptop, being it any accessories, all of us use before coming to the market, there are certain type of testing which are done in each and every product, because that product has to be tested. So any product being a medical device, is a laptop, your Ninis, your MacBook, or whatever, all these products have to be tested. So certain type of testing which are done in each and every product. You must see that this product has an what they call an ISO. You say some product you have an ISO certified. You understand that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any product you see on the market of those products, you see ISO certified, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So now what they do basically, they do the testing of that product. So if that product does not meet the ISO certified, that means it's failed. So you can't go into the market. So that's why testing is required. You as a tester is required. Many companies need a tester. Now this course is about automation tester, manual testing, a different way of testing. So as we proceed, you get to know more about all those things. So let's forget about software testing, that name language, software testing, and all those. So what is testing? Can someone just tell me what is testing? In your layman language, what is testing? You can
Okay.
reach yourself and say something.
Testing is just basically evaluating and verifying something to show if it would work or not.
That's good.
Thank you.
Now, Frank, can you just make a elaborate of what testing is all about?
Testing is putting something into use to see if it will fit in or if it's up to standard.
Good.
Exactly. Dami, can you give any alert of what testing is all about in your own language?
Testing is a way of testing a product to know the standard, right?
Exactly. You are perfect. You're correct. So we can put that is testing is to make sure that whatever you are creating is of a great quality. Software testing is the process to make sure product is of a great quality. Okay, so that's what we test.
Okay.
The users have to say that it's a great quality. That's what you test. So you can say software testing is a continuous process. We discussed that in details. Maybe if I have to show you a diagram, if you can see my screen, what I mean by software testing is a continuous process. If I show you, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. You look at this diagram. Frank, can you see this? Dami,
Yes,
can you see this? Hello, can you see this?
Yes, Dami, I'm seeing it.
Okay. Before I show you this diagram, let me show you. We all went to high school. We did biology. Let me just make a illustration of this one right here. Now, what I mean by software testing is a continuous process. Now, in software automation engineering, software testing, there's what we call SDLC, software development life cycle. In our biology, we did a reproductive system of a butterfly, the way they move from stages to stages. Butterfly doesn't just come out like that. It moves from stage to stage. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, move from state to state. So that's the way software is being built. It just build, just software just coming just like that. There must be a stage of a software. That's why the way I'm trying to illustrate how biology is about. You know, the reproductive system of a face of an adult butterfly. It moves from the egg to the caterpillar, from the caterpillar to chrysalis, from adult meges to the adults. So the same way software is being built. That's why in software industry, we call it the SDLC. Most of this question is being asked in interview question. What is SDLC all about? So it's called software development life cycle. Well, after the course, I'm going to send you a blueprint of this course so you can read and you can go through them and also you can make your own notes. So don't worry about that. So software is being built. Okay. Now look at this diagram very well. This circular diagram very well. It's called requirement analysis. It's called the SDLC. SDLC, I told you, I say SDLC is software development life cycle. Okay. Software development life cycle is a phase. Okay. Is a phase. Software development life cycle we are seeing on the screen right now, this circular thing is a phase, is a process which to develop software. There are different stages of phases which the software development life cycle, and in each phase, different activities take place. Now, look at this one in red, okay? Can you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, requirements. Now, let me use an example in the requirement. Let me use, okay, let me see your banking, in the banking industry. Okay, in the banking industry, like we are going to the Thanksgiving right now. You know, I think iPhones is already released almost during Thanksgiving. iPhone 12, iPhone 10, iPhone 10 Max, all those things. It's been released during the Thanksgiving, right? Have you taken any notes of that?
Yes.
Most iPhone come out before October, November, before a Thanksgiving, I know. So what they do is that in this software development life cycle, now the requirement have to be taken in consideration. First thing is the business analyst. Okay, iPhone. Now, a business analyst brought that solution, that business into the IT industry, into the tech guys, and say, okay, by iPhone want to produce iPhone 13 or iPhone 12 Plus, iPhone 10 Pro Max, or whatever the name will be. These phones have to have facial recognition, thumbprint, where you put your finger on it and it's open, the left finger on it or the open, all those stuff like that. So now these are all requirements brought by the business analyst, which the product users want it to be in their phone, which is the iPhone. So this we call the requirement stage. It brings in those requirements and they start working on it. Designing, we start working on it, building it, working of codes you're going to run, and all those things to make that software be user-friendly in the market when it releases the market. So in this course, as I told you, you must have knowledge of Java or Python or PHP, one programming language, because you will still have to design. And you as a software tester, you still have knowledge of Java because you have JavaScript. You still have to run codes on Java, but we still have to, after this, we'll move to Java class. Okay. So I just want to tell you this about manual testing. Okay. What is all about. So when the business analyst brings this business scenario into the tech guys, now the tech will start designing that particular software. That way you see this one, like, can you see my screen? I'm touching
Design?
Yeah. Yeah, can you see the designing?
Yes.
Designing phase.
Mhm.
Yeah, designing phase. Tammy, can you see that?
Yes, I see.
Okay, that's designing phase. So these are the process he undergoes until it goes into the end market. Designing phase, implementation, testing, which way involves you, and the tech guy, you have to use your own face. You have to start testing software. If there is a bug, there's an error in those software, all those stuff like that. So I want to tell you what bugs and errors and it's all about. So you have to detect bugs. That's your own your own responsibility, because the software engineer designed the software. You, the software tester, have to check for bugs. If there is a bug in your software. So from there, evolution, deployment into the environment, into the market. So software testing is a continuous process. So it's all about, we still make elaborate more on LZLC, what LZLC is all about. More is coming on LZLC, but I just want to show you a little graph about LZLC. So there will be, we realize that software testing is the integrated part of each and development life cycle. You see, software testing is an integration part of each and every life cycle. You have to test. The software have to move from one point to another before it goes to the market. If they detect bugs or effect or error, no, you can't just produce a software to a market and the users are not finding user friendly at all. You will not sell. And it's a huge loss for the company. So you have to test. That's why the required of a software test in every industry is very, very important. You have to have a tester. So if you find a job, is not going to be a problem at all. That here in that photo, there are almost thousands and thousands of software testing positions in the markets. So we can say also it is a practice that makes sure functions are working. Like your phones, the tab, the keys, and everything is working. So software testing is a practice that makes sure functions are working. If you can take little notes, I will send you some notes, okay?
Okay.
But you can take some little notes what I'm saying today, in case you miss out. So as I said also is a practice that makes sure functions are working. Okay, any software you are making, supposed to perform certain functions. Okay, so suppose you are creating something like similar, let me say like Facebook. You start your Facebook application. Okay, let me take Facebook and social media for example. You are creating a Facebook applications. Okay, and these developer, they make it that when you know, when on Facebook, have you gone to any website and you just type in at the search engine as you are typing, it's being so autocorrect.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You say you want to type in Louisiana, you know, it does show you some, oh, this is the right word for Louisiana. So all these things have been developed by the software guys. So to make sure that functions, suppose we are creating something similar to, okay, let me say similar to Facebook application. So Facebook application has some function like login functions, search the web, functions, add friends, function right on your wall, you know, all those things you see on Facebook. So these are all functions, okay? Therefore, we can also say software testing is a back-end testing. That means all these functions are working fine to the end user. You can't just produce something in the market that's not working well. You're not going to sell, and it's going to be a very huge loss to the company. So I have to make something that is very, very friendly. It's a most platform are more interesting than other platforms because of what is friendly. The end user is user friendly. So our software testing, but you have to test it to make sure it's friendly. The end users is user friendly.
Okay.
So we also say that software testing is an idea to enhance user experience. I will make more highlight on that idea. What do you mean by idea? So I say software testing is an idea to enhance user experience. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let's emphasize on the idea. Let me move on there. Like when we create a software, okay, when the developer creates that software, there are certain plans for it. Okay, we are going to create this and that with certain functionality. Suppose we are we take instance from Facebook, as I told you, there are such functionalities in present day. So if I'm searching using the search engine, as I told you, see, as I'm searching, you see some autocorrects, okay? Okay. The autocorrect is an idea. I want to place more highlight on that idea. So therefore, the autocorrect is an idea which the software testing team, okay, software testing team, you are involved too in that company, in that development of that software, Facebook. So you created that idea. Oh, Mr. A is typing or something. You want to, way to Louisiana, way to Michigan. Instead of putting M, he put L, Michigan. So that autocorrect pops out. So it's an idea. Okay, it's an idea created by you guys in the software team. Those kind of idea is created by you guys in that software team. So it is not like everything is defined in the documents. What I mean by document is that you can pause me if you have any question to ask. I'm ready to answer your question. If you have any doubts, Dami, if you have any doubts, Elaho, if you have any doubts, can pause for us continue. Is anybody have any doubts?
Oh, you're fine. Well,
okay.
No,
Continue.
right now. Continue.
Okay. So as I said, it is not like everything is defined in a document. What I mean by everything is defined in a document is that, you know, like a banking industry, we have a banking app. We download that banking app in our phone. And the business analysts come to the tech guys. In the IT industry, you say it comes to the customer. You say the business analyst comes to meet the customer. Customer does not meet somebody outside the IT industry. It's inside the domain, inside the banking hall, or inside the company. So somebody in the mortgage department in the bank is your customer. Somebody in the accounts department is a customer. Somebody in the customer service is a customer. You understand? So the business analyst builds an idea, a business to the customer. Customer is you and I in the tech department. Okay, you go to the tech department and say, okay, look at, I don't want Miss Elo to be coming to a bank to deposit a check in a bank. We want to make it a point that she can confidently in her home house screenshot the check. Okay, screenshot the check, and it's automatically deposited in an account. You don't want that to come into a bank, special bank, and all those things. So it's the work of the business analyst that brought this idea, the business, through the back end, through the customers into the banking hall. I said, look, I have a business proposal and everything from iPhone or from Facebook or from anywhere they build the business from. That's, look, the mortgage app, people mortgaging for homes and everything. They don't want to, they want to be coming to a bank, reduce the traffic in the bank. We want them to like screenshot this, log into their account, or log those in their home, cover it in their home. So we want the software that makes it more easier for them to log it into the system. So the same thing as the banking hall. You don't want you to come into the bank to deposit your check, just stay in your house, screenshot your check. I know most of you have an app on your phone which you can screenshot.
Yeah.
You know, it deposits your account within some couple of minutes or something a day. Even you see that it's already deposited your account. So a code has to be run, a software has to be built, and you are the software developer. The software developer have to run the software. Then you have to test. Your job here today and your job during this course today is for you to be a software automation engineer.
Right.
Software automation engineer. You are the tester. You test the software. The software engineer builds the software. Then you have to test the software. If there are bugs and an error in those software. So what I'm saying that the testing team makes sure the product of that is what I'm saying that it is not like everything is defined in the documents. Like the QA, I mean, this already brings this documents. If I look at the requirement, these are what you have to build. This software have to have this thumbprint and all those stuff like that. So he or she brings this business proposal into the tech team, to the customer, which I told everybody, the banking hall, whether mortgage or customer service or IT department or account department, they are all customers. So the business analyst is one that brings those business proposals to the tech guys or the account department or anything. So these are what it brings. You have to create the software, then you have to test the software. So there's a document which is called the requirements. You understand? I will see as the course proceed, we still know about what they call the user stories, the back-end logs, and all those stuff. When you call the agile methodology and all those stuff like that, Scrum Master, you learn all those things because all of you work together, DevOps, Python developer, and all those stuff. Everybody work the same in this particular team.
Okay.
Hope you don't have any question. If you have it, just ask me, Law or Frank, Dami, anyone you like, you can ask me, if you can post me. If you have any question.
For now, none.
now.
Okay. So the testing team makes sure that the product of equality is of equality to make the end users. So as the software tester, your home aim is to make sure that the end user are having a very good experience. That product is a very good experience. 100% is functionality is good. We're talking about ideas. We're talking about ideas is that, oh, you are a software tester. When someone is that testing, when the software is being built, we should make sure that it should be auto-correct in case the user is typing something, should be able to like correct it and all those things, all those. So these are what you need to have an idea of, have an idea. The idea moves to functionality. That's why I said the testing team makes sure the product of equality to the end users. So as a software tester, your own aim is to make sure that the end user are having a very good experience. So under definition of software testing is a part of SDS that gives confidence on the product made. When a software undergoes all this process, requirements, you brought this requirement, okay, this is what you want, okay. A thumbprint, okay, facial recognition, okay, we start designing, we implement it, we test it, and the evolution moves into the market. It meets the user's quality. That's why I said software testing is a part of SDLC, software development life cycle. It moves in that stage from one point to the other. So it gives confidence on the product made. Okay, you have to test it. That's why you need a tester. You can't just build the software and just let it go. You have to test it. Otherwise, you're going to have a crash in an airplane. You see, so many casualties are going to be implemented in the world, cost in the world, because of there's no proper test. So it's a government law that a software has to be tested.
Right.
Okay. So you can say there's what we call SLP. These are exams you signal take if you want to take this this is called the SQ. Let me see. It's called SQ. STQB. STQB. Okay. Can you see that?
STQ. Okay.
It's called ISTQB.
ISTQB.
Mm-hmm. If you want to Google it, said, look at this ISTQB.
Okay.
So see, it's a certification you have to take to mean you are certified. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like you see that
Yeah.
for you to be
Yeah.
software certified. Okay. The accredited training, ISTQB is an international software testing qualification board. Okay. If you want to take that, I have a series of questions and answer and training for that. If you want to kind of question they ask for those certification exams, if you want to take that, but that doesn't mean if you don't take that exam, you're not going to get a job. No, it's not a requirement. It's just for you to like have it as you can certify it.
Right.
You know, yeah, it's not that it's a requirement for you to have that. Just to show that you are certified. So this is what ISTQB defines software testing to be. Okay, they define software testing to be software testing that, you know, I told you that software testing, you said it. I asked Frank, I asked Elo, I asked some, you said something about software testing is this and that to meet the very requirements, the user's quality, to meet the end product, and all these things are all fine, they're all nice definition. But this is what ISTQB really define this exam, this board of software engineers, software developers and everything. This is what they define to be software testing. They say software testing, they generalize everything. You are right in your definitions, fine. To meet user quality, to meet everything. Yes, you are right. But this is what ISTQB defines software testing, because most of the time they ask you these kind of questions in the interview. What is SDLC? You know, yeah, what is software testing? You know, most of your interview questions they ask you. You see, so this is what ISTQB defines what software testing is all about. They said software testing is a process to evaluate. If you can write that down.
Okay.
Frank, can you write it?
Yeah.
I won't show that to you anyway, but just I like
process.
this class to be interactive. It's not nobody is a layman. Everybody, you take yourself as a professional in this field. There's no entry level. I just want to tell you, there's no entry level in software automation. Everybody is a professional. Don't be scared that I got the job and I don't know, they're going to kick me out of the door. Nobody's going to kick you out of the door. Everybody is a professional. So if you have any queries and everything, we have uplines. They can help you out in the job placement and job support.
Okay.
You understand? You understand? So don't be scared or anything. Just practice. When we start the Java class, when we start the Python automation class, just practice. Give yourself 3 hours or 4 hours of a day. Just practice. If you have any questions, we're going to develop we're going to create a WhatsApp group. You can ping in your queries, and someone there can help you. Okay. So you can write it down, just take a note, just make it class interactive, just any question you want to ask, and we can be here to help.
Okay.
Rami, are you writing down?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, what these people just define this ISTQB as it is that they say software testing generally, they said, because they ask this in most interview questions, what is SDLC? You understand? SDLC is a software development life cycle. Okay, the interviewer just looking at you. So you have to throw more highlight. Okay, it's the phase whereby software is being built from one phase to another. We have the deployment phase, we have the requirement phase. For the requirement phase, we have the deployment, we have the requirement phase. For the requirement phase, we have the deployment phase, from the deployment and the maintenance, and from deployment to move for evaluation and thereabouts. So you have to explain this in the state. When you look at this phase, it's not really certified what you say SDLC is all about. From there, you move on. You understand? So you need to understand what exactly what we are talking about. Most can be able to see that. So in everything, the generalized in the STQB defines what software testing is all about. The general terms, general language, everything for software testing. They say it's a process. If you write it down, software testing is a process to evaluate functionality. I talk about functionality. I talk about ideas. I make more highlights on ideas about that autocorrect. You know, the software developer, they develop it that's okay. When you type in something, you'll be showing the autocorrect in the search button. This is an idea, a broader idea that people will make mistakes. You understand? So they move from that point. They said to evaluate functionality of a software. I repeat, I say software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software meets the specified requirements. I told you about LZLC.
Intent.
Okay. Okay. I repeat, I say software testing is a
functionality of
process.
a software
Yes, I say
application.
software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software
Application
application
with an intent.
with an intent to find whether this developed software meets the
Whether
specified requirements.
the developed
When
software
yes, if it meets the
required,
specified
specified requirements,
whether the developed software meets the specified requirement. When the business analyst look at this diagram, when the business analyst bring this requirement from the users who want for user stories, I want this iPhone 12 to have a facial recognition. We have it to have a thumbprint, or in a banking software, or in the one of the app, it should have, you can screenshot your check and all those things. These are requirements. So at this course proceed, we're going to talk about the user stories, all those things, and how they build user backlog, all those things, Scrum Master, the team, and all those things, what they do in the team. Everybody works in the team. Everybody works on together. You see, have you heard about DevOps engineers? We heard about, you have our automation manual, which we are doing right now. We heard about Python developers, Java developers. Everybody works together in this industry to make sure that the software is being built 100% without no bugs. So your job is to test.
Right.
That's what they need you. You have to test. If there's a bug, you raise a ticket and send back to the developer. Hey, this thing is giving them an error. There's a bug. What bug is that? Oh, maybe you try to, you have Facebook, okay?
Like if something is not right. Okay.
Huh?
Something's
like
not working all right.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you have Facebook. Okay, you have banking app. Let me say banking app for instance. You must register before you can able to log in. Okay, you must register accounts on Facebook before you're able to log in. I can't just enter facebook.com and enter no@gmail.com and enter on password. It just open. Come on, that's the bug. That's the bug. So you have to raise a ticket.
Right.
You understand? So all those things we do is we'll do it when it comes to automation, using Selenium, browser, test engine. We go. It's a huge. I mean, it's interesting though. But it's a bug. So that's why you need a tester. You see? So general terms for software development life cycle, software testing through ISTQB, what they define that software to be, so is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether this developed software meets the specified requirements or not.
Right.
Specified requirements or not, and to identify the defects.
Okay, and to identify the defects. Okay.
And to identify the defects to ensure that the product is defect-free. There's no defects. There's no deformity in this software that's being produced to the market. Because we're going to lose a lot of money. Before then, that's why this diagram I'm seeing, this SDS is very, very important, because it's a stage. If a bug is being found, they turn back the ticket, they turn back, it won't get to this point. It won't get to evolution, it won't get to the market. You have to, when we proceed, there's what we call defect life cycle. As we have SDS life cycle, software development life cycle, we have defect life cycle. We have what we call bug life cycle. You raise a ticket. Oh, in this stage you are designing, they sent to you. So no, there's a bug. You raise a ticket. So we call bug life cycle. You ask that most of the question in interview question. What are bug life cycles? You know, how can you define the bug life cycle? What are your what bugs have you found out in your career as a QA test automation engineer? You know, they ask all these questions in the interview questions. So you need to like express yourself what you detect bugs, you know. So bug life cycle, you know, because you are a test, you have to detect bugs. So that's what ISTQB define software testing to be. They say software testing is the process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software meets the specified requirements or not, and to identify the defects. Now, continue to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality product. Generalize in that way, in order to produce the quality product.
In order to produce.
Yes, in order to produce the quality product.
Produce a quality product. Okay.
So can someone just with your layman language, can you someone clear what is defect? Your own layman language. Let's talk about defect because you had your responsibility as a software automation tester is to determine bugs, defects, errors. So can someone just tell me what in his own layman language, what defects is all about? What can you just say about defects?
Like
Danny, can you tell me what defects is all about? Danny, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What can you own layman language? What is defects?
It's when something is in imperfection.
Right.
Okay. No, can you go? Do you know what? Can you see what defect is all about? If you get to a phone, or you buy a phone from the pawn shop, or you go to a phone or a AT&T and try to press the speaker is not really giving you that very sound you want. So what you say? Are you calling an error or defect or a deformity? What are defects? So this is defect. It is not really working fine. So what can you define defects all about to your own terms?
Malfunctioning.
Malfunctioning, that's good. So defect is not only related to the code, okay? Because the software developer runs the codes before they produce the software. So defect is not only related to codes. It can also be related to the requirements. Okay, requirement. Look at these points here. I'm trying to tell you. Look at these requirements. Because requirement, the business analysts brought this requirement to the tech team, and they're not properly stated this requirement very, very properly. And we want to run this code. It's going to give us a defect. So defect can come with errors in the documents. This document, this requirement document from the business analyst into a tech department, into a tech team, the customer. You know, it's not properly stated. So defect is only the phone is not working fine. The defect also comes from requirement. As a QA tester, don't only depends on what the developer, what the requirement they gave you. Don't only depends on that. Okay, you have to test. You have to act as an end user. End user means that, oh, I have to check the phone. What if I log in with any password? What if it opens?
Right. Okay.
You need to think ahead. That's an idea. You have to. That's your job as a tester. You need to act as if you want to be a real QA engineer, manual tester, automation tester, you need to act as an end user. The final someone using the product. What if it is like this? What if it don't work like this? What if I do like this? So don't depend on the requirement they gave you at the company. You have to test. You always to detect bugs. Software developer is just to build the software. But you have to test. As you test, you have to think of different ideas. Let me run this. Let me run the code this way. If I run the code this way, what's going to happen? You know. So you have to diversify your thoughts and your ideas. So defect, as you said, is not only by the key you press on your laptop or your phone is not working, or deformity, the speaker is not working. Defect can come from those requirements. It's not properly stated for what they brought to the tech team. So defect can come with errors in documents as well in what the developers are developing, okay? And it can come from wrong requirement gathering, whatever the requirement gathering from the business team and business analysts. So we have different criteria for having bugs or defects in that system. You see that? So we don't have that. Yes, I can hear you.
No, I wasn't going to ask the question.
Okay. You want to ask the question?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. So I've talked about why we test. I'll talk about what is testing, what is software testing, and we know what is software testing, but ICQA and all those stuff like that, and all those why you have what is testing and what is required by testing. So I told you about 3 phases. You ask yourself from this question, say software testing is about what to test, why to test, and why. We are talking about this what is software testing. And let's talk about why. Why software testing is important. Because developers and business analysts are humans. That's why we have to test. Okay? Because developers and business analysts are brings this very requirement in the tech team. Okay? They bring this requirement in the tech team, but you have to test it. That's what we have to test. Because they are developers and business analysts, they are humans. Frank, can you just tell me what I mean by developers and business analysts are humans?
Say that one more time.
I said we have explained why what is software testing. Okay, what is software testing? Software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software meets the specified requirements or not, and to identify this defect, okay, to ensure that the product is defect-free in order to produce the quality product. This is the definition from ISTQB, okay? So we talk about the idea. You have to create an idea. You have to have that idea. It should be in your mind as a software tester. Idea. I thought that idea is about autocorrect. The autocorrect is an idea which software testing team. You are part of a software testing team. Generate those kinds of ideas by creating that software. When you are typing something on a search button, it gives you autocorrect. Oh, this is you want to type a Florida, you went a M reader. It tells you this is Florida. These are software development that create those ideas, autocorrect. So we have finished talking about what is software testing. Now we're on why. Why must we test? So I say why, the point of why we must test is that the developer, which is software developer, okay, and the business analyst. Look at, can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the business analyst, the developer and the business analyst, they are all humans. That's why we must test. And I'm asking you, can you just do you have an idea of what I mean by developer and business analysts are humans?
Yeah, sure.
In layman language, what do you mean by, oh, they are humans? That we must test.
Because there could be errors.
Exactly, there could be errors. Because they are human, they can make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
In their requirements.
Yeah.
They can make mistakes in the requirement. That means you have to test. That's why for what we're talking about, what is software testing about, we are talking about why we must test. Because why? Number one is business analysts, they are humans. And developers are human, they can make mistakes. Okay, so whenever we are creating any kind of requirements, look at my screen. Whenever we're creating any kind of requirements, I thought about doing Thanksgiving that software, iPhone 7 is coming out, or iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 12 Plus, 13 Plus is about to hit the market. It's your job on your business analyst to bring this requirement to the tech team, which is the customer. Anybody in the technical department, in the IT department is your customer. So the business analyst bring this software to the tech team. Hey, this one must have this. It must have this. The facial recognition must have one thumbprint have to be in all those requirements. So he brings this requirement from the end user. You understand? He brings this into the tech team. So whenever we are creating any kind of requirements with specification, or the developers are developing the codes to run this software, there are high chances that they may commit errors.
Right.
Okay, they might have to develop errors. That's why you need you there. You need you as a tech tester. So in this code, in this circular you are seeing right here, which is the SDLC, software testing is as important as the development phase.
Right.
It's very, very important. So in SDLC, that in software development life cycle, the software testing is as important as the development phase when they're developing the software. It's very important. Just as developers are humans, business analysts are humans, the testing aspect, as developers are developing the software, they are human as well. Okay. They are also liable to commit the mistakes. So how to reduce this mistake?
Hold on.
How to reduce this mistake? You see, so they need you as a software tester. And so this course today is just about intro about software and software automation and software manual testing. There are a lot of different ways of testing. So I just want to have the idea of what we are going into. It's very interesting. It also will give you time and you excel. Okay. So why do we have to test? Why do we test?
Because the developer, they are human and they may make a mistake.
Yes. And secondly, you said developers are human to make mistakes, that you have to test the software because the requirement don't depend on the requirements or the bring of everything. You have to test those software. So secondly, it is not an ideal world. It is not an ideal world. What I mean is that suppose we create a software and the developer who was working on it right through the development cycle, that through the SDLC cycle, he was on Linux machine. You know what I mean by Linux machine? We have a different type of operating system. We have Linux machine, we have a Windows,
Java, SQL.
Yes. No, we have a Linux, as in, you know, your Windows,
Yeah.
your Microsoft Windows, we have Linux, you know, we have a MacBook, which is your Mac, as in your what's that tablet called again? From Apple laptop.
iOS.
Yeah, that's an operating system. That's an operating system. Those are called Mac. That one, Apple phone, Apple laptop is Mac. Is on Mac operating system. Okay, so we have Windows, which you have your HP one of the Windows. HP laptop, Lenovo, and all those things. Those are pretty simple. But don't worry, when we start doing Java class, we start with Java class, we need all those things. You have to know your Java codes. You have to be very, very attentive in Java, because if your Java skills is not clear, your Python skills is not clear, there is no way you could get a job. It's not hard. Okay, when we start automation class, you have to, before automation class, we have to start the Java class. So this is all about manual testing, tools about manual testing. Okay, so why I said we are talking about what, talking about why we have to test. Now we are not on why we have to test. We said the developers and business analysts are humans. They can make mistakes. Yeah, you have to test. That's why you needed your tester. You needed in every industry. Microsoft, in where I am, they need testers. Everywhere you need testers. In Penny, JCPenney, in Walmart, all those things, they need testers in their software. You know, there are different way of testing. I will explain to you later on. There are different way of testing, different way of testing. You understand? They all complement each other. You understand? No one is not is different from each other. Everywhere you have to know all aspects of testing for a be a real manual or what you call it, quantity assurance, QA, automation engineer. Understand the different way of testing. Okay, so business analysts and developers, they're all humans, so you have to test the software. Secondly, I said it is not an ideal world. You can write that down. It's not an ideal world. So meaning, suppose we are creating a software, okay?
You said it's not an ideal what?
It's not.
Ideal.
Okay.
Let me write down. Ideal world is not an ideal world. Meaning, it's not an ideal world. Suppose we create a software and the developer who was working on it right through the development cycle, right through these points, right through this development cycle, okay? He's designing it, the requirement will be sent to the bank or Walmart or JCPenney or Bank of America or American Airlines Credit Union, American Airlines or Delta Airlines or Priceline, you know, we work anywhere, work everywhere, all software. Okay. So what I mean by it's not an ideal world, is not an ideal world. Meaning, suppose we create a software and the developer who was working on it right through development life cycle, SDLC, on through on Linux machine, he was working on it on the Linux machine, thinking that the end users will start using the particular software more on Mac or Windows. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The developer was working on the particular software. Okay. And when he was working on that particular software, he was on Linux machine without thinking that the end users will start using that particular software on Windows, on Mac, iPhone, that's the Apple laptop.
MacBook.
But you were working, you see that software, creating that software on Linux machine. They're running that code on Linux machine. Not knowing that when this product is being released into the market, users might want to download that thing in Linux machine. You understand what I'm saying? Or Mac. You see that? So get that word I said is not an ideal word. Underline it. It's not an ideal word. Why? You have to test. Secondly, I said it's not an ideal word. I said number one, first one, I said it's human, developers and what? And what else? Can someone remind me again?
Yeah, woman, because they are not
test?
a mistake.
That's it. The secondly, it's not an ideal word. Secondly, it's not an ideal word. I said developer is developing this software and is running it on this machine, not knowing that users, you and I, is going to test those machines, download those software on, like you get what they call the software for download and what they call that antivirus. You know, those antivirus, McAfee, what other antivirus you have again? Norton antivirus, you know. Hello, can you remember any virus you have again? Antivirus you download on your computer.
Avast.
Avast, all those things. So this developer is working on that particular software on Linux, on different operating system. Don't worry, when we start Java class, you know what operating system, all those Linux, all those stuff like Java, how to run Java code, but just understand the basics. So this developer is running this particular machine on a Linux machine, not knowing that you and I go to download that particular software on Mac, Apple, Mac operating system, Windows operating system, like your HP, Lenovo, Asus, and all those stuff. So before we started the development, he made an assumption that the software should work only on Linux machine. That is his own assumption. And developing this particular software, it's going to run on Linux machine. All the specification, look at all this requirement by business analysis. See that? All this specification. Yeah, my business analyst, you have this, you have put this and that. My cafe, you have to do this, you have to run from this and that in 2 minutes, you have to download all those requirements. When you get to proceed in this, you have to know more about that. User stories, I told you about product backlog, agile methodology, and all those stuff. So you need to know that. So before he started the development, he made an assumption that the software should work only on Linux machine. All the specifications you are seeing here, requirement, all the specifications, all the requirement that we are gathered by the business team, which is business analysts, everything is working perfectly. Okay, no problem, it's working perfectly on Linux, which the developer is developing this code. It's working on this machine. But once the software is installed, when you are like go to the market, went to Best Buy, you went to Fry's or a electronic store and procure a particular software, want to download our computer. You know, we bought the software, you know, but the developer developing that it should run on this machine. So this all the specification of requirement that were gathered by the business team, business analysts, and whatever, and honestly, everything is working perfectly on this machine. But once you and I installed it in Windows, it cached. Hello, can you get that? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I said, when you bought that particular software in the market, the developer developed it to work only on Linux, but you are reading Windows machine, okay?
Right.
Windows operating
Yeah.
system. And you put the software in the market, in Best Buy and everything, you went home and installed into your system. So, but the developer, so before he started developing, he made an assumption that the software should work only on Linux machine. All the specification, that the requirements, that's where we are gathered by the business analysts, the business team, everything is working perfectly on Linux. Fine, it's working perfectly on Linux. But once you and I, okay, installed this software in our Windows, because I'm using Windows, we're using Windows, I'm not using Linux,
Yes,
or whatever. We're using Windows. You need to install that particular software. It crashed it. It crashed. So that is why I say it is not an ideal world, meaning whatever assumption you made in the beginning is not always going to work.
Oh, okay.
It's not an ideal world. Oh, it's going to work on Linux. So what of Windows? It's only Linux we have in the world. No, we have Linux in the world.
So, in other words, we have to do due diligence to check if it will work across.
Yes, that's your job. That's the responsibility to check as a tester. If you are to be a good manual tester, automation tester, QA, automation, or whatever, how it's the same thing, the name is called, you have to have an idea of the end users for it to be very, very good as a QA, because you diversify your thinking. Oh, what if I run it in Linux? Is it going to work?
Yeah.
Well, if I run in my Windows, this software is going to work. So that's why you're a tester. It's only just he make an assumption. Oh, it's only for Linux, you work on it. What of Windows? And this software is released into the market. That's a very huge loss to the company. That's a big, huge loss to the company. You know how many millions of dollars were spent in that software, and they release it, and it's not even working on Windows. You lost money. Because I'm using Windows, I go and buy Linux, no. I'll go for that. There's competition in the market. So that's why you are very, very important in this industry. Tester. And for you to be a good tester, you will be a manual tester, you have to diversify your thinking, your ideas. When I was talking about what to test, you understand? Idea and functionality. Ideas, you have to spread, you have to, you are testing, what if I do it this way, it's going to work. Your own is just to find bugs, your own is just to find faults and raise the ticket once immediately.
Okay.
You see, that's why I say it is not an ideal world. Whatever assumption you make in the beginning is not going to work.
Okay.
That is why we need someone in the team who is thinking of the box, which is you and I. You're always thinking about the box. Dami, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's why you have to always thinking about the box. What's going to happen? What is you are always just searching for box, error. That's the responsibility. And for you to be a very good software manual automation engineer.
Excuse me, I do have a question.
Okay.
This software testing, is it only limited to computers and phones?
No. It's about websites.
Because you've been talking about Linux and all that. So, so what categories of testing,
As we proceed, yes, as we proceed in this course, I would let you know what are very ways of testing. You understand? We have manual testing, automation testing, API testing, web services, the websites, I talk about we talk about API on mobile phones, I want to say testing, all those stuff like that. You have to run what we call API, which is very huge in the market today. You understand? Web services, API, performance testing, So it's about software in general. Whatever software you're talking about, that's what testing is all about. It's about software. I'll say software testing, manual software testing, automation, API. It's about software anyway. Wherever I can think of testing, whatever you think of as in anything is software in your phone, in your car, all those things. All those things are software. It's blinking. You have to park. When you want to make a U-turn, when someone is close to you, it blinks. Oh, someone is by your side. It's software. We install those things there.
Perfect.
You see that? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Hello, Frank, do I answer your question?
Yeah, sure. I got it.
Yeah, it's all about software. Software is everywhere. In your banking, in your healthcare, if you go to your insurance company, all those web, they say you should log into your username and password. You create your username and password, and then your billing information and all those things. All those are software. Those are software. In healthcare, it's not everywhere. It's not single in one particular tech department. It's just everywhere. In healthcare, in the hospital, you work in the bigger hospitals, like here, you work in the hospitals too. You see, or you go to hospital, all these are software. You have to work.
Like
what I was
trying to find out, if a software tester is working in a hospital, what would you be doing?
If a software tester in the hospital, you just look at the hospital, what they do in the hospital there. What software they use in the hospital there? The hospital has a web page, right?
Yes.
The hospital has a equipment, healthcare, they have equipment. And those equipment want to be software. When they put this in your chest to read your temperature.
And they handle people's information too.
They have people's information, and those things, your
beats, those require software.
When doctors put your this on your chest to read all those things, it reads and all those things. Those are software that is created. It's Oracle. When you start doing Java and Python, you be a developer, you know all those things. Yeah, it's all as far as it's all to do with software. You have to test it. In the healthcare sector, in the hospital, everything works with software. So we talk about most of all those things when you start doing your Java class and all those things, but you have to know what software is, Nintex, what it's all about. You have to know about Agile, Jira, and all those stuff. Just know that wherever it's doing with software, if it's an automobile, in your car, all those things that runs, those back camera, all those things. Those are software. Those are not digital. No, I mean, they are not just ordinary. This thing just put installed in software. You know those things. That's a question.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. They need someone like you and I who is thinking of the box. When I say it's not ideal world, because there can be an error or a defect. So they need someone like you who is thinking of the box. So there comes important or a software testing. As the software tester, we should always think of the bugs. Where are the errors coming from? If I do like this, what will happen? So don't just always rely on the documents. Don't just rely on the developer, what the developer is telling you or are telling you to test. Oh, just test this one. They give you in your job, they give you user story requirement, the document, and all those things, they give it to you. Yeah, this is what you have to test. No, don't rely on his documents or his or her documents. Understand? Diversify your thinking. That's what I talk about when I talk about what to test. I talk about idea and functionality. Those ideas, what of if the user is typing those things, at least let it find something that when he's typing, making an error, there's something that will pop up, okay, that shows that, okay, oh, you're making mistake in, instead of you want to type how to generate funds, how to create a profile in Facebook. You start as a type is you want to put Facebook, say Facebook, it give you F at the back. You say don't click. Oh, sorry, there's that's the correct terms. You see, don't auto-correct. So the ideas you need to think. So don't always depend on what the tester or developer is telling you. Okay, don't depend on the documents. So don't rely on documents. Don't just rely on what developers are telling you to test. So to be a very good software tester, you must be very, very good, a good user. You know, I told you that you must be able to test, okay, we'll think very, very well, all those stuff like that. If you are a very good user of any application, you are going to be you're going to test thoroughly. And the user cases and all the scenarios, you're able to test very, very well. You're able to have everything in your mind. Because you think at the end product, okay, what are users? What if they test this thing? What it comes like this? What's going to happen? So you have to be a good tester. You have to think as the end user. If you are taking that product as an end user. So on that, why we test is that customer are king. What I mean by customer is a king is a customer are king. Do you have idea of what I mean by it? I talk about it's not an ideal word. I say customers are king. Okay, what I mean by customers are king? Do you understand what I mean by customers are king?
Yes.
Okay, can you just give me a little bit of layman language what you mean by customers are king? That's
like their priority. Okay, so they're the people we're serving. So it has to always be right with them. Their priority, they come first.
Okay, that's fine. So just if I to put more highlight in this, if I say customers are kings, another point is that I say customers are king. Customers are king. That is why each and every company is spending a lot of dollars on software testing purposes. The market's force of software testing is growing day by day because of the competition in the market. Okay, for one kind of product, you have n numbers of applications available, and so many of them available. For one kind, just one software, one kind of product, you have n numbers of applications. You have Norton Antivirus, we have McAfee, we have Advance, we have a lot of them. You understand? Okay, we have Windows. I mean, we have HP, we have ASUS. These are laptops. So customers are king. Why I put it that way, I say for one kind of products, HP. Okay. One kind of products, you have n numbers of applications available, being social media, being banking, being microfinance, being customer relationship or management, being healthcare. We'll talk about healthcare sector. For one kind of requirement, we have 50 kinds of products available. So it is up to customers what they are going to use. And customers would like to use what is easy to use, which is user-friendly. If I bring, if a developer develops a particular software, which is the Avast, antivirus, or McAfee, but to download it, man, this thing is too hard to download. It's not user-friendly at all. People will not even buy it. And the company lose a lot of money. So you see, there are competition out there. So you must, if the developer was produced, and you have to test to make sure that it's user-friendly.
Right.
Can you get me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, and customer would like to use what is easy to use, which is user-friendly, and what is interest to use, is interested to use it. For example, if I use like we were all on social media like Facebook and thereabout. Now, what is that? 2 or more social media. Why is it that 2 or more social media are more popular and some others are not popular? What are the reasons? Because, can someone tell me why one platform is not as popular as the other one?
Maybe user-friendly.
Yeah, yes, usability, user-friendly. You see, user-friendly. Some of them are not user-friendly. I don't like, you can like what makes software that's why user-friendly, that's if you say user-friendly, that means that application is easy to use, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's bug-free, and all these have different kind of platform available.
Right.
Yeah, okay, like you're using social media on the desktop. You can use that social media on desktop, that Facebook. You also use that social media on mobile phones, like Facebook. You have it on mobile phone. You see, it's user-friendly. You can use it on mobile phone. Your desktop, from your tablet, your mobile phone, an Android, iPhone. So on each and every platform, maybe use a mobile phone, desktop. So what I'm saying, so each on every platform, if any application is working fine, then that's what we say is what, as you said, user-friendly. So people want to go for it. People want to buy it. So they're user-friendly. So another thing again is if you can put that one down, is what I mean. We are still on what I'm talking about, why you have to test, is that diversify usage.
Diversify usage.
Yeah, diversify usage. Diversify usage, that's what you have to test. Diversify usage. That's what I mean, but like you're using an Android phone, Linux, Windows-based applications. So Mac and we can say users, when I'm saying diversify means that people are using it all over the world.
Right.
Okay. Your site diversified, Windows, Mac, this and that, McAfee, antivirus, and all those things, your G-Wagon, those software on this G-Wagon, they also use in Africa too. They also use it in Mexico, they also use it in New York, they use it in Cambodian, so it's diversified usage. So you have to test it. That's one reason you have to test, because diversify usage. That's one reason you have to test. So this software are used every part of the world. It's not only US. So there is that diversified usage, because people are using it all over the world. The world we say is a global village. We all know that. The world is a global village. So the kind of product that which are created for any confused specified business, all the products which are there in the market is for everyone, for all around the world. It's not only for US. So you have to test it so that they're able to, like, everybody able to use it. So how I say is that there is a high usage. So you don't say, oh, this is only for certified for US only. I don't know, Dami, have you ever go through one web page and say, okay, and change your language?
Yes.
this is English, you go to Spanish, click on Spanish, it's speaking
Yeah.
on Spanish.
Yeah.
So you have to test it as a software tester that this thing, or this our software, this our web page, everybody have to use over the world. It's diversified all over the world. So it's only for US alone. So that's why you have to test it. So there's diversified usage all over the world. So the user can be able to use it all over the world, in Cambodia, in Australia, in Mexico, in Romania, Russia, everything. So user friendly. So that is all about why we have to test. So we move to, from that point, to know about what is software testing, why we are testing, and now how to test. How? What do you want to test? How? So now, discussing on how software testing can happen, we are different ways of testing. Okay, we're talking about what is software testing, why are we testing, then how are we going to test this software? As a software developer, how do you want to test this particular software? How do you want to test this particular software? So now we have different ways of testing. We have manual testing. We have what we call manual testing. Okay. We have manual testing. We have automation testing. We have automation testing. We have manual testing. We have database. A lot of things. You say you did something about database, right?
Yeah.
Database
testing. So these are another way of testing. You have database testing. You tell the data. They are database testing. We have manual testing. We have automation testing. We have database testing. We have what we call API testing. Yeah, API testing. We have API testing. We have what we call performance testing. Or performance testing. All these are how to test. If you know how to test. We test manually. We test manually. We test database testing. We have automation testing. We're going to talk about those the class proceeds. We have automation testing. We have performance API testing. We have performance testing. These are all various ways how we can test a particular software. So what is actually manual testing? Manually, as a layman, manual, just manual testing. Manual testing. How we test manually. Manual testing is the most, if you can write it down, just take a note of that. I want to send your email, but if you let me email, I'll send you all the slides of the course, your email, so you can go through that on your leisure time. I mean, your less busy time, and go through them. So you can say manual testing is the most important part of any testing. Manual testing is the most important part of any testing you can do. Manual testing is making sure your application is working fine. By working on it manually, we are not doing any kind of automation right now. You see this, you're not doing any kind of automation right now. It does that. Manual testing is just to make sure that your application is working fine. That's manual testing. To make sure the application is working fine. While doing the manual testing, we need to work as an end user. I always specify with an end user. End user is the person that's going to use it at the end.
Customers.
Yeah, the customers. They're going to use it at the end. So you have to have that idea. What's going to happen? You as just start thinking as an end user. What if they press this? What if they don't work? What if they do this? What if they don't get? What if they, you know this? You just think outside the box, after the box. You know, that's what manual testing is about. You have to test as you have to think as an end user. So while doing the manual testing, we need to work as an end user. We discuss a lot of things why software testing is important. Because while checking anything as a manual tester, you behave like an end user.
Okay.
While behaving like an end user, many ideas will come to your mind. You understand? So what if I press this phone? What if you don't have? What if I log into the website? What if I'm trying to, I'm not typing the right words? I should have something like autocorrect. No, that's for you to be a manual tester, a good manual tester, you must think as an end user, the end product. So you must have that many ideas become to your mind, which are not there in the requirement document that the business analyst brought. So you have to diversify to be a good manual tester. So as a manual tester, you do a lot of what end users are going to do. So many stupid, you do a lot of stupid stuff. You do a lot of stupid stuff. You think a lot of things. To be a good, what of people are doing? What if you press, to be a good manual tester, you think out of the box. I told you in the previous what is manual testing. You have to think a lot of stupid stuff. I think a lot of stupid stuff, a lot of things. What if we do this? What if we do this? All those stuff like that. So to be a great good manual tester, we check, always determine the bugs to check to get the bugs. So you have to think as a manual tester, you will do a lot of end user, do a lot of what the end users are doing, are going through so many. You have to do to a lot of stupid stuff. So suppose when I'm to log into any application like Facebook now, and to log into any application like Facebook, by mistake, I have deleted that application in my phone. It was not intended for me to delete those applications. So when I was clearing the cache, when you go to your computer, you clear the cache and all those things, you just, even all the useless application from my mobile phone, so was deleted. I also end up deleting that application that is Facebook. So this is after boss, we come to you when you will be doing the manual testing. So how will the application behave now since it has been deleted and most photos are gone? Like suppose I want to use it as many localized language. I don't want to use it as the by default English, but I want to use it as Spanish. I want to log in as Spanish language, all those stuff. So each and every application these days comes with localization. The meaning of localization is it will support your local language as well.
Right.
Like Spanish, I don't want to English language by default. The developer developed it to be English language, but what of if I don't understand English? Is a ball. What I want to put English language there? I want to put a Spanish language, Romanian language, Portuguese, and all those things.
Even Yoruba and Igbo, it's not.
Yeah, so a lot of application has that. So you have to take out of the box. Don't always depend on the requirements, as I told you. Don't depend only on the requirements. So how is it going to behave in a local manner? All these things we get to know when we are doing manual testing. For instance, I have it on the like for instance now. How is for instance now? Okay, I'm shopping on Amazon website. Okay, I have 1% battery power level. Okay, I'm shopping. Remaining I have 1% power level on my mobile phone. I'm on a payment site. I want to submit my payment. I want to, I'm shopping for a Nike trainers or laptop or iPhone 12 or whatever. I want to buy that. So I'm waiting on the payment site just to log in my payments and submit. So and my battery level is 1%. So on the Amazon page, and on that on the payment side of some, I want to log in some Amazon website about to make payment of some dollars from Amazon, and my battery is going to die. So what Amazon is going to do actually, the Amazon website is going to do actually, is it can read from my device. Okay, Amazon website read from my device that my mobile battery is about to die. Please put it on in a charger. If you see that, it uses a pop-up. It's a pop-up. Frank, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, put it on a charger. Understand? So the mobile device is about to die. Please put it in a charger before making payments. So you won't lose out. So all that kind of ideas, I talk about ideas. I talk about functionality before when I talk about what is all this thing. I talk about you must have idea functionality to be a manual tester. You see, so all these kind of ideas will come to your mind when you will be doing manual testing. Okay, you must have those ideas. What if you saw a user is trying to log in and his battery is 1%, and you want to log into it, you're about to submit his payment and his battery 1%. You must want to be the software that it should give me a pop-up. Go and charge your phone, your battery is about to die, because he doesn't know that his battery is only 1%. So ideas, you have to think as a manual tester, you have to think out of the box. So these are ideas to be a good manual tester. So manual testing is all about thinking of the box. What's going to happen? You see, of course, it's the building block of automation. This is what I say, it's the building block of automation. You see this? I will tell you what automation is about. This manual testing is the building. This manual test you are seeing here is the building block of automation testing as well. Now, if I should just clarify what automation testing is about. Automation testing is basically what you want to test again and again. Like manually, you sign in your Facebook username and password, and you log in, you create an account. Okay, you don't want to do that again and again. So you have to automate it. So the job of automation tester is increasing day by day. No company want to spend more time in logging and submit. No, they want to automate it fast. That's when you're going to your job. You see, if you go to automation tester, where they said the minimum requirement is you have to be a manual tester and basis on manual tester and automation tester, a virtual engineer. That's the minimum requirements. API testing, yes, fine. To performance testing, but this is the minimum requirement you get in your job requirement. Manual testing, automation testing. Because most companies are moving their equipment to be automated. Don't to waste more money. If they have like QA tester and everything, at least like one will be manual tester, but automation is like 5. They need more automation testers. API is yes, it's fine. You must have either of API testing, performance testing, and the database testing, but at least minimum requirement is automation tester and manual tester. So if automation is the building block of automation, is manual testing the building block of automation testing as well. Automation testing is basically what we want to test again and again. Automation testing means that like you have a task you are creating, you don't want to repeat it again. You just want to automate it, just be running. You don't want to spend more time. Company don't spend more money on that, so just run it. So therefore, all this kind of testing, be it manual testing, we are seeing all this kind of testing, be it manual testing, database testing, API testing, performance testing, they are not competent of each other. They are basically complete each other. They complete each other. I can't say, be a manual tester, don't worry about being an automation tester. No, they compete each other. If you must have knowledge of all this to be a good QA automation analyst. You must have knowledge of all these things. You can't say, oh, I know manual, I don't know automation. If you want to be good, you have to get a job, you must have bits of all these things. So you don't compete of each other, they complete of each other. That's it, they are not competed of each other. They basically completed each other. We need to understand the database testing as well as the API testing. Need to understand
so like, in other words, they work hand in hand.
Yeah, they work hand in hand. You know, you want me, so you start getting interested about, you know more about what I'm talking about. You all of them work hand in hand. You can't say, oh, they are competent of each other. No. It's competent. You have to know database testing, API testing, and you have idea of them all. So testing itself is a full stack of profile, just like we have UI developers, we have backend developers, we have database developers. So similarly, we have manual testing guys, database testing guys, automation testing guys, API testing guys, performance testing guys, all these performance testing guys, you know. So you need to be good in all of these. You need to be good in all of these. I have an idea of all this. You need to be good in all of these. You need to be good in all of these testing to be a good QA member. To be a good QA member, quality analyst. Okay. Yeah. To be a good QA member, you must know all idea, you must have idea. Not that you should be very good, but at least have idea of all of them. They don't compete on each other, you must know them. So now, if I have to talk about let me see if I can see the career aspect of this. No. Career aspect of a QA. Okay, it's not here. Okay, let's talk about your career. Career path. Career path in software. Career path in software testing. Career path in software testing. What you can do as a software testing in an IT industry. No, this course today is about introduction, what you need to know about software, what career taking, and all those stuff like that. There is no entry level, there is no professionality or anything. This is career path in software testing. Okay, what you do as a software testing in an IT industry, what you can become. You can either become what we know as in your career in this field, you can either become what we call test architecture. Okay, test architect. Can someone tell what the architect is all about?
People that design.
The people that design. So you can be a project. You can be a project project management. You can be a
really?
Yeah,
so someone who has done Scrum Master can do this. So someone who has done project management and Scrum Agile Master can do this.
Scrum Master, the work of the Scrum Master is to remove impediments among the Scrum team.
Right.
You understand? So this is the QA. QA is checking that software that has that visibility before it goes to market. So it can be a project management. It can be a project manager in that particular field you are into.
Okay.
So you can also be an I think you can be automation expert. Automation expert. Can be an automation expert. Can be an automation expert, and you can be a performance expert. Can be a performance expert. Performance expert. It can also be, lastly, can be a QA or QC expert. So this is a stage. Your career path in this software testing, you can either be a tester, test architecture, or architect, project management, automation expert, can be a performance expert, can be a QC or QC expert. So
Sally,
if you look at it,
Sally,
yes.
Can you be a software engineer through this program?
Can you be what?
A software engineer.
A software engineer is, yes, you can be a software engineer if, yes, you can go to school to be, because you work hand to hands. You know the software, you know the areas to get bugs and everything. So you can develop, because you are testing that software. So you can You can be, so people move from being, because I started as a software developer, I started software testing. I moved to become, going to school to become a software developer. I started, I was doing my master's in UTA and software engineering. So it's not be very, very easy for you. You understand? Because already in the field already. Okay. So, but in this software testing, as a software tester, you either in a company, you either be a test architecture, or project manager, automation expert, performance expert, or QC analyst, or QC quality control experts. So these are your career paths in this field. So, but just I want to let you know that when we are starting our career, maybe we are less than 2 years. Okay, let me say you are less than 2 years. Let me say you are less than 2 years. You are less than 2 years. Okay, you're less than 2 years of experience. Then you are a junior. What do you mean by junior? Junior tester. Junior tester. Okay, you're less than 2 years. This is your career path. You are called a junior tester. Okay, at that point of a time, we need to learn each and every, you see, each and every, see all these things, each and every, as a junior tester, at that point of time, that's less than 2 years, okay? At that point of time, we need to learn each and every, whatever we heard about manual testing. Anytime I talk about this manual testing, we need to learn about everything about manual testing. In less than 2 years as a junior tester, you need to learn everything about manual testing, automation testing, database testing, automation testing, API testing, performance testing. Okay, when we go to the point of being a test analyst, this one, going to the point of being a test analyst, there's the point we go into a test analyst, going to point to be a test analyst. We need to at least know a bit of all these things. You want to be a test analyst, you need to know a bit of all these things. 2 years in junior tester, you need to know all these things. Then going to the point to be a test analyst, you need to have idea of all these things, manual testing, database testing, automation testing, and all thereabouts. Then after 5 years or 6 years, then after 5 years, after 5 years or 6 years, after 5 years or 6 years in this field, okay, after 5 years or 6 years in this field, people become QA lead. Okay, after 5 or 6 years, you can later become a QA lead in your company. You can become a QA lead in your company. Yes, that's what that is. After 5 years or 6 years, you will become a QA lead in your company of a general testing. Maybe you are the QA of manual testing. Now, let me tell you, if you're a QA lead of a manual testing in your company, that doesn't mean that because being a manual testing, if you're a QA lead of a manual testing, because you're a QA lead in the manual testing, any application you are giving, you are able to think about what kind of manual testing can happen on that particular application, and what is the requirement and the end users needs. So the application being a QA lead of manual testing, that means I should know only manual testing. No, it's not proper. Doesn't work that way. That's it, because I'm a QA lead of manual testing, I should only know manual testing. No, you should also know database testing, automation testing, API testing, and performance testing. If you have any question, you can ask me before I proceed. Hello, Frank.
Yeah.
Nick, can you hear me? Hello?
I can get you, Stanley. I can get you.
Okay. So these are, you need to get more knowledge of manual testing. As we proceed, you will get more knowledge about manual testing, database test, automation testing, API testing, performance testing, as proceed. So the this test architecture, your career path is basically what test architecture does. What test architecture does is that they are the people that create the framework. What I mean framework is that, okay, these are what you have to bring in the company, we create it, design, all those things. These are test architecture. So you create those framework. Like when we start doing automation testing, there's what we call behavior driven. These are framework. We understand all those when the time comes. So test architecture also design, you start create a particular platform, a framework, how the software is going to run. So they create the framework, like say any requirement is coming, you have to create the framework right from the scratch. Okay, framework is not only for automation testing. You can create a framework with for overall design in automation. I told you testing, what we call framework is what I told you, the IP framework, the RDV framework, and all those like that. But framework is to create an overall design. We can create framework in automation testing. Also, we can create framework in automation testing. We can create a framework in API testing, performance testing. So framework as an architectural test architecture is your work to create a framework. We do all those when time comes. You see how it works. So these are the responsibility of the test architecture. That's all. And you will believe, and believe me. Hello, can you hear me, Nick?
Yes.
Frank. Now, believe me, the project managers, you see the project manager, you see this, the project managers, test architecture, automation expert, performance expert, these are highly paid jobs in the industry these days. I'm telling you, they even pay more than the developers. If you know what you are doing, if you know your JavaScript and all those things as we go and continue this, they are highly paid in this very field, I'm telling you. If you have expertise in all of these things I mentioned now, you have expertise on, you have knowing all these things, expertise in all these things 6 years down, 6 years down the line, you will be in a highly paid job. I can guarantee you that. Highly paid job. You know about manual testing, database testing, automation testing, API testing, and you are going to be a project manager or expertise and all this performance testing. You'll be in a highly paid job. So QA people these days, testing people these days are getting paid much more than developers. I'm telling you, much more than developers, because of the competition in the market. These days, for the application which are available, we need expertise. We need experts in QA these days. We need to test the software. So the career part of the QA people are as developers people. So the same thing, they end with the software engineers too. They're highly paid. In some sense, it's better than development people, because from the QA people, if you have a good communication skills and analytical skills, you can think about end user very well, because developers don't think of the end user, just to run developer. Look at, okay, I don't want to waste most of the time. We have to end this class. We continue next time, but I just want to let you see this. But what do we see about this particular diagram? Why do I have that? I don't think I have this right here. Oh, no, I don't think I have this. I think it's here. You see that? This is the development guys, and this is the testing. This is you, and this is the software engineers, and this is you yourself. So what can you tell me about this diagram?
How can I break it?
Can someone look at this diagram? Tell me what can you say about this, the programmer, the tester, and the programmer? From this diagram, you can see here.
Okay. The programmer is trying to make it work, and the tester is trying to find faults in. I don't know, but I think it's just trying to
Exactly.
find.
That's yours. The craft is saying, don't you just want to find the bugs?
Yes.
How am I going to break this thing? What will happen? So that's also the diagram you're seeing here. So you see, company more pay, they even pay more the tester, more developer, because he think more than the end user, what is going to happen. Programmer just want the program. I just develop this program, I don't even know what's going to happen. But tester, the depend on the testers, the company spend more. That's why they say the project analysts, you understand, performance expert and everything, all these roles, they pay more, is highly paid in the market. So you become probably pay more, invest more in them because they find the bugs in the market. So finally, I also put more highlight on what is this QA and QC. Okay, I'll talk about performance automation. Okay, let me talk about automation expert. Project management, automation expert. Automation experts, there's different application tools. Okay, we're talking about automation because we'll start doing automation, Selenium, automation, testing, and all those things. We're not about manual testing. There's a different way of testing. We say, how do we test? We test by manually, database, automation testing, API testing, performance testing. Now, there are different ways of testing. Now, we talk about automation testing. To be an automation expert, you must have knowledge of automation, Selenium, automation engineering, automation testing. Okay, because I told you that you can't just come in on facebook.com and log into your username and password and click and submit all those things. You have to test it. You can't just be doing it manually. You are logging it. You understand? You just type it and click on submit button. No, you can't be doing all that again. So there's a way you have to automate it. I just run the code and instantly you just click and submit. You'll be seeing yourself. When we start the class, you see what I'm telling you about. It's what we call automation testing, which is the minimum requirement in the job. You must have either manual testing, you must have minimum requirement in automation testing, which automation testing is really high in demand in the market because companies don't want to spend much money, spending more money in manual. It's a time consuming. We want to automate all these things and find the results. It goes into agile because Thanksgiving is coming. This product have to be, this code has to be automated, have to be run. Let's see what is going on. You can't be entering manually and everything. Okay, no, you have automatic. Let's see. So you have to have knowledge of Java or Python. These are those programming language to automate all those skills, to write the JavaScript. Understand? But we come to that. So these are other ways of testing, automation testing. So automation testing is different tools available right now. We have different tools in automation testing right now. The most important one you want to call Selenium. If you go to the web page, whatever we call Selenium IDE, Selenium, I'm trying to open the Eclipse. It calls Selenium, Selenium.dev. I think this is
testing automation.
Yeah, this is that's their web page. Okay. Selenium is about automating repertoire website by clicking without even automating repertoire website without even using a manual way of typing your username and password. It just does it for you automated. It just clicking. You click in your button, you submit and just run. You just see it running. That's automation. It's not manual. It just be running just like that. So this software, if you want to depend on this field, this is what you need to know. Selenium. Okay, that's the main common one these days. So we have different automation tools available right now. The most important and most popular these days is Selenium. Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. We see when we start doing automation class. You see, we start the automation class, we talk about much about Selenium. So now let's talk about performance experts. So this comes about performance expert. Talking about these tools, they do performance testing. There's one we call JMeter. Okay, before you run something, understand? Before I test something, there's a particular tool I use to run it. You understand? Like we want to talk about performance testing, like let me say, you know, Facebook, we have millions of people on Facebook. Nikki, I know you're on Facebook. Frank, I know you're on Facebook. I know you're on Facebook. You understand? A lot of people on Facebook. What about how many millions of people on Facebook? You understand? Frank, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
A lot of people on Facebook. So, as the performance expert, so we use JMeter. That's what we call JMeter. We know about that later on. What JMeter is about. We have BlazeMeter. So JMeter, we have BlazeMeter. So we have also different types of performance tools which are available. So what performance testing basically does is, if we have very large number of users, like I told you about Facebook, we have millions of users are going to millions of users are going to hit Facebook. Everybody on Facebook webpage. So they're going to hit a particular website at the same time. At the same time, at the same amount of time. So how is this website going to behave? How your mobile application, you have Facebook mobile application, everyone we have Facebook on our mobile application. So how is this thing going to behave? How your mobile application is going to behave. So these are the kinds of things performance testing is all about. I need to be a performance expert. You need to know about performance testing. These are what performance experts and performance testing is all about. Again, this is very people profile now is in software testing. So there are a lot of people that want to become a performance expert. So a lot of people profiles on, if you go to LinkedIn, people are going to a performance expert is really selling the market right today. So there are a lot of people that want to be a performance expert. But before you become a performance expert, you should know all manual testing. All these things, you know about manual testing, database testing. So because manual testing is a building block, what we are doing today is a building block of all these things you are saying today. Performance testing, API testing, automation testing. You need to know this one first. You need to know different type of testing. We have functional testing, regressional testing, smoke testing, regressional testing, scientist testing, non-functional testing. You will see know about most of them. I will send you this. I think I'm gonna send you this. I will send you these slides. You see different type of software testing. So in the life cycle, I'll say so you can take a note of them and have it in your document, why you have to code, development model, and all those things. In case you have any questions, just let me know. Installed and all those things. The different type of testing, bug, tracking tools, Jira, API. You still know about most of all these things. Anyone have any question? Hello, you have any question?
No, I don't.
Okay, so the job of performance, most people want to be a performance tester because the job is really selling today. So before you be, a lot of people, so before you be an expert in performance testing, you should know all area of manual testing as a building block. Manual testing is a building block of everything. So finally, let me talk about the QA and QC experts. This one, the QA and QC experts. Now, what is different between QA and QC? Can someone just tell me us QA and QC? You have any idea? Does anybody have any idea or be a QA or QC expert?
I know a QA is a quality assurance person.
Assurance.
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly.
QC. I don't know what QC is.
QC is a quality control.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Now you see, QA is quality assurance. You're right, and QC is quality check or quality control. So you have to check it before it's sort of being deployed into the environment, into the world. You have to check. So these are different things. There are different things. Quality assurance comes in as quality assurance comes in each and every phase of SDLC. If I take at this point, I said SDLC, where is that my point? SDLC. I talk about SDLC, software development lifecycle, because I said the quality assurance main the shred assurance comes in each and every phase of SDLC, software development cycle. You have to check. You have to assure that this is really a good state before you can deploy. So you come in every state of SDLC. It's my SDLC here. So quality assurance comes in each phase of all these states. You have to check all of them before you begin to deploy for one phase. For one phase, this phase you have to deploy, you have to check each phase. So quality assurance means making sure that each and every phase of this SDLC, requirements phase, designing phase, implementation phase, testing phase, which is U&I, evaluation phase. So the quality assurance depends on each. The quality assurance means making sure that each and every phase of software development lifecycle is happening in the right phase. It's happening in the right phase. So everything is checked. Everything is really a good standard phase. So in quality assurance, in each and every phase, we do certain kind of testing. In quality assurance, we do certain kind of testing. We don't have to wait before the product is created. You understand? I can't just produce a software and just deploy it. So I have to check it in quality assurance. Because I get the requirement, I'll just run it and just say, no, there must be, that's why I say in every phase, in every requirement phase, in every designing phase, in every implementation phase, testing phase, evaluation phase, quality assurance is involved in every phase of SDLC. I cannot say for a requirement, enter the designing phase, enter implementation phase, testing phase, and you start sending people. No. Quality assurance have to be checked. Quality assurance have to check it. In every phase, it's involved. So the quality assurance means making sure that each and every phase of SDLC you are seeing on the board right here, SDLC lifecycle are happening. What you mean is things are happening the right way. So in quality assurance, in each and every phase, we do certain kind of testing. We don't have to wait before the product is created. So like a quality assurance, you come to the bank and say, oh, I want to produce this kind of software. You can show your, what do you call it, your paycheck or whatever, your check, all these things with your phone, and it's created to your bank. I have to check, I have to look. It doesn't want it. You understand? So I'll tell the business analyst, it doesn't want it. You look at it and say, yeah, it's true. It doesn't really work. It doesn't want to spend more money. Yeah, it doesn't want it. So do you know how much money has been saved in such an implementation? You bring a particular proposal into the company, to a tech team, and they said, oh, I want to run this particular software. And I said, no, it doesn't want it. Come on. A lot of people are into this. People don't really, users don't really need that. There's this, no, it doesn't really want it. So, wow, I want to bring millions of dollars into this project. You say, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. You see how quality assurance has really, really saved you a lot, millions of dollars. You see that? So it's a very, very important space in SDLC. Before you move to anything, quality assurance is there in the middle. You have a meeting every time and you just talk about it and say, no, it doesn't really want it. So it makes. So what's QC iSPY is about? We talk about QA, quality assurance. What of QC? What is QC? What is this QC expert? What is different than QA? We talk about QA, right? You understand what QA? The what of QC? Do anybody any idea of QC expert?
Someone said quality control, but I don't know what they do though.
Yeah, Nikki was quality control or quality check, she's fine. So, but basically, quality control comes during the testing phase. Do you get that?
Okay.
I say QA comes before they start developing, before creating that particular software.
Oh, okay. So
before I start creating, I meet a QA analyst and say, come, this and that I want to be seen. No, it doesn't work.
Okay.
You have seen the news of that. But quality expert, quality QC expert, quality control comes during the testing phase. When I'm testing it, it has already been stated by QA. Yeah, Ivanity, that's a very good product. Yeah, yeah, fine. So QC now test it. The QC, the quality control comes during the testing phase. Okay, it comes during this, what is that? It comes during the testing phase. That's when the QC comes in here. It comes in here during the testing phase, right here. Why the QA comes in during the requirement phase? If it's worth it, then let's go designing it, implementing a concept. Then there, the QC comes to the SDLC. It comes in the testing phase. That's when the QC comes in here. So the QC comes in during the testing phase. What kind of testing is happening if the customer's requirement that they are going to log into the system on this at the same time, if that would be possible or not. Like if I am doing the testing, I'm doing it in the correct form. I say these are the rules of a QC expert. So QC and QA are two different kinds of things. Both of these things are very important in the SDLC. So you can become that in your career path as a software tester. So you can be a QC expert, a QA expert. You can be that in your career. This is your career path in the software testing. So I showed you a diagram. I showed you a diagram of development and testing team. The one is to determine the bugs. The developer is to determine the testing phase. I mean, they're developing the software, whatever software they're developing for the requirement. Your one is to be a good manual testing, automation testing, performance testing. Your own is always on the box. So this diagram you're seeing here, they are somewhat different. However, we have different paths to achieve the same goal of providing quality to the clients. You see, whatever I do, whatever you do, is you are trying to get a very good product from our back end, which is our customer, end users. So that is what development and testing thing, the difference between them. They are working all hand to hand. So the difference between development people and testing people is the testing people, while looking at the software, you and I, you have to think, how can I break this software? What area, what end user will do? So these are what you want to do. That is only requirement from your side. To be a very good software tester, you should think when this software is going to break. What's going to happen? What if they run it in this machine? This advanced McAfee, whatever. What if they run it in this machine? And this the developer, this one here is he says Linux machine only. What if I run your Mac? What if I run your Windows? What is going to happen? I can let me run the code on this one. Oh, you faked, it's a bug. Oh, no. You see that? I'll save the company a lot of money. So that's why software developers, they are software testers. Most of them are most very highly paid, more than even the developers, the software developers, because company really depends on them. They save the company a lot of huge amount of money, so they invest more on software testers. You see, so the software developers is suppose the developer said in this Windows, like let me say for example now. Let me quickly end this. Let me just end it. Like for example now, the developer say 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 should be 2 plus 2 should equal to 4, right? 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. But the developer, when I talk about what, why, and how, the developer is always thinking of different things. What if I said 2? What if I say the user say 2 plus 2? What will happen? You see that it's not the same thing. It makes it a particular way. You understand? But the developer own is concerned is that, oh, it must be 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2, when you type a copy, you develop a calculator, 2 plus 2 should be 4. What of if the user said 2 plus 2? Eh?
Right.
Yeah, got it.
You see that? So the developer always think that is really, as I told the developer, a software tester, you always think about a lot of stupid things. Always think about stupid things. What will happen? Always think about the bugs all the time. Bugs, what will happen? When we start doing Java class, Python class, you know much about what I'm talking about. But these are all the bases. So finally, before we end up our class, we say what's required from you. So what is required from you in this field? How am I going to succeed in this field? How am I going to succeed? There's a lot of jobs in software automation, tester, everywhere in California, in New York, in Missouri, in Kentucky. So how am I going to succeed in this field? How am I going to succeed in this field? So how am I going to succeed in this field? How am I going to succeed in this field? You must have that, what I call this is not. You must have what we call that passion. Okay? You have that passion, you must have an attitude. Okay? You must have a good communication. Have a good communication. You must have that analytical skills. You must have that analytical skills. Analytical skills. You must have analytical skills in this field before you can succeed as a software tester. Passion, study, when you start doing your Java class, everything, take your time, like 3 to 4 hours of the time, do a lot of practice. Because when we started downloading Java on your computer, Java on your computer, you start running Eclipse and everything, start running codes, you know, start doing software automation, browsing, out Chrome browser, Firefox browser, all those things, Selenium, all those stuff, click, type, you know, a lot of things. You have to know about Java, you have to have knowledge of it, because when you go to a job, if you go to the job skill, they ask you minimum requirement, at least your software tester, you have knowledge of Java or Python. You understand? Python now is one of the second popular language in the market today. You understand? So Python developers earn the least Python developer earn is $75,000 a year. That's the least. So after like 2 years or thereby, you signed $150,000. Check it on Glassdoor and everything. Google, you see that it's moving from one point to other. Java has been in existence for 25 years, and it has been in existence for years. I'm not saying, and you're going to be existing in the next 25 years. So Java skills have to be strong. So learning Java in this field, you're learning Java to automate, to learn Selenium, to be able to program. That's what you're doing as a software developer, a software tester. I mean, you know, your Java skills, you know, where you start doing the hook concept, the inheritance, and all those stuff, and all this. Those are what you do in your everyday job. You understand? The if and else, if the user did not log in a Firefox browser, what happened? Okay, it should run a Chrome browser. So if and else, all those Java codes and everything. Yes, sir. So your Java skills have to be strong. It's not hard. It's not so difficult. Just put your mind in it. That's why I say the passion for you to succeed as a software manual tester. What you require from you is that you have to have the passion, good communication, the attitude, the analytical skills. You will succeed in this field. You know, and you have any queries and everything, you can ping it. We get a platform, a free WhatsApp platform where we start doing our Java programming and everything. Start doing Java and Python. At least we start with Java class though. We do Java in Selenium, so that's Java 1. And we'll teach you Java with Java class. So it's really selling the market. So you thinking of getting a job, getting a job is not hard for you. It's wherever city you are, is it in New York or in California, wherever you are, go to your list. You see thousands and thousands of jobs in QA automation engineer. They're looking for them every day. They need a software tester. A JCPenney, Walmart, Chase Bank, Bank of America. They need Priceline.com. every Toyota dealership, Toyota company. I have a friend, he got a job in Australia. One got a job in you can work remotely, you know, work remotely. When you come about agile, you come on meeting, you do a meeting on Zoom, and then you start on your code, they send your requirements to your phone, to your laptop, you see, you start on your code, you come. Most times it's always meeting. That's why I told you analytical skills, good communication. I'm able to develop these skills, to develop this software today, but I'm running some bugs and then I have to raise a ticket to the software developer, you know, so to fix it and all those. So the Scrum Master, which Elo was talking about Scrum Master is to remove the impediments among the Scrum team. Okay, Elo, don't worry about it. Keep on running your code. I will see you. What you're going to do about the software. Okay, let's keep on moving. We do that when it comes to what they call agile methodology. When it comes to software SDLC, agile. You see, we do all those things on agile methodology. So waterfall, different type of SDLC, waterfall, we have agile, we have SDLC, you know, we have incremental testing. No, there's no different way. You understand? But the more popular one is called the agile because it's just like quick. You understand? Company want to see the product in the market. So agile, you keep on moving. So they are why they need the Scrum Master. So everybody in this team, everybody working in the team, both you are doing DevOps, you are doing Python, you are doing Java developer, you are a QA tester, everybody working in the team. Okay, everyone working in the team. So getting a job is like they are looking for you everywhere. So keep yourself in that, practice, have the passion, go qualification, say practice, read, and definitely you get a job. Take notes. You get a job. There's no, this field is a field that is everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Even if you want to get a job in Canada, there is a job in Canada. You want to work for me in Canada, it's everywhere. So it's just everywhere. So just your skills, just get it. When you get it, you are gone. You just be moving. You just be flying. And it's a well-paid job. It's not it's a well-paid job. They need you. So that is it.
Thank you.
If you have any question, you can ask me before I end the class.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go and meet
Appreciate
some
it. Thank you.
Stanley.
You can shoot me your email so I'll send you the slide and we all create a WhatsApp group if you have one. But mostly when we start a Java class, we create a WhatsApp platform where you can, if you run your code and you have your queries, you can you send it 1 or 2 people or everybody can help you out, you know, so we can, because your Java skills have to be very good. You are good on Java skills, you are good to go. There's nothing, you know, ask you an interview question that you can't pass. Yeah.
Right. I said, do I miss some?
What about the video? What about the record?
You said what?
Oh, you recorded a class, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Can you mute up?
Yeah, that's what I want to. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly what I wanted to ask. If you recorded the class, so because I missed some part of it, so I can be able to just go back and.
Okay. Okay, I forward it to you though. I'll forward the class to you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you everyone. We meet next week.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much.
All
Yeah,
right.
bye.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.